Now on CoastTV News.
We're seeing some clouds this morning as a cold front is making its way towards Del Mar, but maybe a sprinkle this morning, bringing breezy and cooler weather, but also keeping powerful Hurricane Milton to our south. I'll have the details on that coming up next.
Milton, it is on the move as people in Florida are preparing. We have the latest on the next big storm system threatening the U.S.
Millions of dollars for discharge option, the big bucks that could make a wastewater plan appealing to Rehoboth Beach officials.
Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series.
Game 2 thriller, the Phillies get off the mat in the best of 5 National League Divisional Series to tie things up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Monday, October 7th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And I'm Elisa Weber. Paige Marley is off today, and welcome to our 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, Philly fans waking up this morning. We saw that. Also, the big sports story over the weekend. Vanderbilt beat number 1 Alabama. Stephen Decatur's Bryson Coleman plays for Vandy now. His father, Jake, is also the head football coach at Stephen Decatur. So shout out to the folks in Berlin. Jake was all over pictures and video after the game when the fans rushed the field. He got a lot of national run in a lot of media outlets.
I mean, if you are a Vanderbilt student or fan on Saturday, you were having a good day. Those videos, and that's exciting, especially an Alabama win. But we're going to bring in first alert meteorologist Bob Trahey. Bob, tell us about the weather. It was gorgeous this weekend.
Yeah, you know, it was an exciting sports weekend for some, and the weather not as exciting, but we are looking at some clouds this morning, some breaks in those clouds as well, and we could see a possible sprinkle as a cold front is headed our way. You see a little bit of green showing up around the I-95 corridor. There's a cold front across western Pennsylvania, and that will continue to make its way our way as we go through time. Out ahead of the front, it's pretty mild, 60 in Del Mar, 62 in Georgetown, Rehoboth 67, Bethany Beach 67. And we are looking at a southerly breeze ahead of that front. Once the front comes through, wind shift more out of the northwest. So this morning, featurecast, some clouds, some blue skies as well. Maybe a sprinkle as temperatures warm into the 70s. So looking at clouds around the noon hour with 70s. And then we see more in the way of sunshine into the afternoon around 3 o'clock, 76 in Del Mar and Millsboro. Bethany Beach 73, Rehoboth at 74, and then 60s and 70s through the evening hours. And then temperatures falling quickly with the northwest wind. Bus stop forecast for the kids off to school. Mostly cloudy skies. Don't need the rain gear, 62 degrees. And then heading home, I think you'll see a lot more sunshine, pleasant and breezy, and right around 77.
We're now tracking Hurricane Milton. The Category 2 system is churning in the Gulf of Mexico and taking aim at Florida. You can see on your screen just some of the damage from Hurricane Helene that took place just over a week ago. According to officials, Milton could potentially make landfall on Wednesday, and officials in Florida say their biggest concern is getting debris off the roads in neighborhoods where Helene took a toll.
And we're now getting a look at Rehoboth Beach on this Monday morning. And as we can see, streets are pretty quiet still. I think people are still sleeping possibly. But this is a view high above from Church Street. And near here is the Lewis and Rehoboth Canal. And it is that area that we just saw that is key to a plan that will be reviewed by the Rehoboth Beach commissioners and Mayor Stan Mills.
Yeah, Lisa, this plan here, and according to it, it ultimately would result in treated wastewater discharge from the Rehoboth Beach outfall, ocean outfall.
And the county is proposing a one-time $20 million payment to Rehoboth Beach.
Yeah, the request coming from the Lewis Board of Public Works in Sussex County to connect a new treatment plant at Wolf Neck facility in Rehoboth Beach to the outfall pipe.
And the $20 million could be tempting for a city that in July was dealing with a shortfall of over $4 million when working on its latest budget.
City officials have cited another benefit would be environmental. They claim the new connection would help remove wastewater out of the canal. Happening today, town council seats up for grabs in the Del Mar municipal election. 2 incumbents are attempting to win re-election. There's a challenger looking to interrupt that. The incumbents are Odell Jones Jr. and Todd Lanier. Both are seeking the 4-year term that comes with winning the election. One will definitely be re-elected. Challenger Brian Morris hoping to earn his spot on the town council for one of the seats. And people in Del Mar can vote at the public library. It begins at 7 a.m. and ends 12 hours later at 7 p.m.
And also happening today, plans to improve the Ocean City Convention Center could be finalized. Town Council has it set to have its second reading of an ordinance, and it would allow the town to borrow $3 million to fund a new generator and replace the roof, among other things. That is tonight at 6 p.m.
Big development in Lewis could take a step forward this week. The North Star subdivision would bring 758 single-family homes on Route 9 and Beaver Dam Road. This has been the subject of past hearings and also some concerns. In this Wednesday's North Star, 4 applications are on the Planning and Zoning Commission's agenda. That starts at 3 p.m.
And this morning, Delaware State Police will continue to investigate a crash that killed 2 people and left 3 others still fighting for their lives. According to police, it happened after a man driving the wrong way hit them head on. Police say it happened around 1:30 a.m. Sunday on Route 13. A 24-year-old Georgetown man was driving north in the southbound lanes and hit a car head-on, with 2 22-year-olds among 2 18-year-olds, all varying states. The 2 were killed and others are in critical condition, as is the passenger of the striking car. Troopers believe the Georgetown driver may have been impaired, and he's in the hospital with serious injuries.
We're tied at a game apiece in the National League Divisional Series between the Phillies and Mets, thanks to this 9th inning hit by Nick Castellanos, scoring Trey Turner in a 7-6 win. The Phillies, they trailed at 1.3-0 before a couple of late inning rallies. Game 3 tomorrow night in New York, well, more in Game 2 later on CoastTV News Today. Tensions in the Middle East have only heightened since the October 7th attack in Israel 1 year ago, with a widening war into Lebanon and the Israeli Defense Forces battling Hezbollah to the country's north.
And hopes for a ceasefire have drastically diminished, and over 90 hostages still remain in captivity, including 4 Americans. NBC's Alice Barr shows us the current state of the war and what top U.S. officials are saying.
Across Israel today, ceremonies mark 1 year of anguish, of hostages separated from their families.
We're missing so much.
Of Palestinians living through unbearable conditions, more than 40,000 dead, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. And 365 days after Hamas militants attacked inside Israel, killing 1,200 and kidnapping more than 200, the suffering is only growing. Israel now battling Hezbollah militants in Lebanon and vowing retaliation against Iranian missile strikes. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not backing down.
Israel has both the duty and the right to defend itself.
That's despite growing criticism, including from the U.S., about the devastating toll on civilians and the fear of an all-out regional war. Vice President Kamala Harris on CBS 60 Minutes backing Israel's right to defend itself while stressing the need for a ceasefire.
The need for humanitarian aid, the need for this war to end, the need for a deal to be done which would release the hostages.
But those negotiations are deadlocked, raising questions about the U.S.'s ability to influence Israeli policy. President Biden sharpening his rhetoric toward Prime Minister Netanyahu.
No administration has helped Israel more than I have. None. 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 And I think Bibi should remember that.
Hostage families pleading for a breakthrough.
I will not allow myself to lose my hope, because if I do, who will scream for Keith?
The cries of millions growing more desperate with no end in sight. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
We're just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News.
Yeah, coming up, an annual event supporting science and the coastal environment on Delmarva. We'll show you some of the projects that were featured from this year's Coast Day.
And also looking out for your neighbors near and far. That's the goal of one program in Dewey Beach, and we'll tell you why one vacationer thinks the program will help out locals.
Rehoboth Beach street study as the city looks at options to improve parking and traffic. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
We're going to coach these artists to the next level so we can make superstars.
I rap. Sweet tutti frutti, get your booty on the deck. Okay, that's enough.
Sounds a little desperate.
The Voice, new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
I like to know what my patients are experiencing.
Stop making decisions that hurt this hospital.
There's a method to my madness. Are you with me or not?
Brilliant Minds, tonight on NBC and Peacock. Transform your backyard into an outdoor oasis at Woodland Sheds in Bishopville, Maryland. Explore 11 acres with over 100 Amish buildings and 7,000 pieces of Amish poly furniture. Walk through our Amish-built sheds, kennels, coops, garages, and even pool houses. Enjoy free shed delivery and rent-to-own sheds with no credit check. We also have portable storage units. Visit us at Woodland Sheds, Route 113, Bishopville.
On October 16th, Delaware Celebration of Jazz proudly presents Cancer Survivor Night. 100% of the profits from this special evening of music and dance will benefit BB Healthcare's Tunnel Cancer Center in Rehoboth. Entertainment will be provided by the Yacht Lobsters. Their breezy, cool vibe is sure to keep things bouncy and set your mood to festive. Come celebrate the Jazz Festival's 35th anniversary. Get your tickets online today at rehobothjazz.com.
Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. It's time to huddle up and talk football.
We're talking touchdowns, tackles, and everything in between. From game-changing plays to the latest news around the league. We'll take a deep dive into all of the plays that made a difference. We'll see you in the end zone.
Catch the End Zone, Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. Sponsored by Tyndall's Casual Furniture.
6:11 on our dry Monday morning. Seeing some clouds out there. Here's our Bay Health Cam in Milford, looking at temperatures warming through the 60s and then eventually 70s. We have the clouds, and we could see a sprinkle as a cold front is getting closer. But all in all, it looks like it's just clouds right now as a cold front is back to our west, and that will be moving through a little bit later on today. Temperatures out the door, not too bad, into the 60s, so a light jacket, but it is a little breezy from the south right now. Here's your drive cast, looking good out there. It gave the green light for the morning commute, dry and breezy. Can't rule out a stray sprinkle. Then for the evening commute, looking good. Sunshine and breezy and temperatures in the 60s and 70s.
Thanks, Bob. Happening today, Rehoboth Beach commissioners will tackle its streetscape plans. That's for Wilmington and Baltimore Avenues. And the goal here is to improve the look and also the function of the side streets. The city will also hear results of a parking and traffic study for King Charles Avenue. A special event zone is back in place in Ocean City starting Tuesday. The city says this event zone runs Tuesday through Sunday. It's due to the Endless Summer Cruising event. Speed limits are lowered and there are also increased fines. Happening today, a long closure going into effect in the Roxana area today through February the 4th. Miller's Neck Road between Old Mill Bridge Road and Derrickson Creek Road will be closed. This is so DelDOT can realign Miller's Neck Road next to Old Mill Bridge Road, and there will be detours in place.
And the U.S. job market added a stunning 254,000 jobs in September, and the report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics blew past expectations of 140,000 additional jobs. Unemployment also dipped 4.1%. And the jobs report comes just weeks after the Federal Reserve decided to cut interest rates by 0.5 percentage point. We're learning about a major security breach affecting some of the country's major telecommunications companies. Sources say a group of Chinese government-linked hackers possibly infiltrated several broadband and internet providers, such as AT&T, Verizon, and Lumen. Investigators believe the hackers were likely looking for national security or other sensitive information. The government is still trying to determine what information the hackers may have obtained. And still ahead this morning, Winter Watch Awareness will tell you how police officers in Dewey Beach are helping keep vacationers informed on their summer homes while they're away.
Now we have a breezy morning going on along the coast, more of an offshore wind as a cold front is moving our way. We've got clouds this morning with that front moving through, maybe a sprinkle, otherwise breezy and cooler to start the week, plus the latest on dangerous Hurricane Milton. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Are you feeling stuck and unable to live your life because of a tick-borne illness? Acupuncture is a holistic approach that can help minimize the long-term effects of tick-borne diseases such as alpha-gal.
I struggled with alpha-gal for years, and then I started a customized treatment plan at Delmarva Acupuncture, and Dr. Ashley really helped with my anxiety around food.
Acupuncture can help minimize the long-term effects of many tick-borne diseases.
To learn
learn more about Delmarva Acupuncture and Wellness Center, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
I would never take a tax credit that I wasn't entitled to.
Angela Also Brooks took tax deductions she did not qualify for.
Also Brooks improperly took advantage of tax breaks she did not qualify for.
Also Brooks claimed a homestead tax break for a townhouse she rented.
Also Brooks is accused of improperly claiming senior citizens tax breaks.
She used multiple methods which she was not qualified for to save thousands of dollars.
No, I don't believe I'm above the law.
Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Make sure your neighborhood feels like home with landscaping and property services by Herker Property Maintenance. We combine science and art to create and maintain the landscape masterpiece you've always dreamed of. We can handle the largest developments and commercial properties all over and provide a consistent data evaluation to keep your property perfectly maintained. Clean, innovative, fast, reliable, from landscaping to pavement services and everything in between. Take an innovative approach with Herker Property Maintenance.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
If your family's anything like mine, life brings in dirt and messes.
Touchdown! Yes! 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 Oh!
Sit back, relax, and leave the deep cleaning to the pros. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home clean.
Time is 6:16, and we are now getting a live look at Milford. Calm-looking situation there. I guess you really can't tell if it's calm or chaotic because it's pretty dark outside. Take my word, it is calm. And Bob, it sounds like we'll have a fairly calm day today as well.
I think so. You know, we have some clouds, a little breezy. We have a cold front headed our way, Matt. Nothing all that chaotic, as you said, just kind of a minor frontal passage. But the big story is the dry weather. You know, really, the last several weeks we've been up in this muggy, humid range. And look at this. It's like flat line on the bottom of the comfy scale right through the rest of the week into the weekend, as well as very dry air moves in and much cooler air as well. Now, we're still out ahead of that cold front, so we're in the low to mid 60s right now across much of interior Delaware and Maryland. 67 Bethany Beach and Rehoboth right now. Now, out ahead of that cold front's a little breezy out of the south and southwest. Eventually, those winds shift later today as we're looking at mostly cloudy skies all across the area. Not seeing anything in the way of rain. Can't rule out a sprinkle as this front gets closer. We have a trough, and here comes the front. Here's the latest now with that front just to the west of D.C., and that will continue to chug our way, and that will bring in much drier and cooler air as we have a huge area of high pressure moving out of southern Canada, and this big bubble of high pressure will gradually drift to the south and east and settle over the top of us, acting as a barrier to keep Hurricane Milton well to our south later in the week. Here's Futurecast this morning. Some clouds and also some blue skies. By mid-morning, we're in the 60s and low 70s. Those winds start to shift to the northwest into the afternoon, and we're into the upper 70s and mid-70s too in some places. A little cooler at the beaches, but it will be a beautiful afternoon. And with those northwest winds, it's going to feel cooler pretty quickly this evening, 60s and 50s. And then look at this, by morning, 49 in Delmar and Millsboro. Pretty chilly with 50s and 60s at the coast. Tuesday, a good-looking day, but it will be a lot cooler. In fact, this model has only a couple of places hitting 70 degrees, while the rest of us are in the 60s, and then turning pretty chilly again tomorrow night. Let's talk about Hurricane Milton now, a Category 2 hurricane packing winds of 100 miles per hour, moving generally to the east, and this could become a real monster of a hurricane, maybe a Category 4 with time by Tuesday and Wednesday with 145 mile per hour winds. And then it could weaken a little bit as it gets closer to Florida, but it looks like it could be making landfall around Tampa. This would be their first landfalling hurricane from this direction in about 100 years. And then it would become more of a hybrid tropical system, but moving well to our south, as well as high pressure over us. You can see the outer clouds from the hurricane kind of grazing us as we go later in the week, but all in all, we're looking very quiet as we go through the rest of the week into the weekend as high pressure keeps us high and dry. Paul Day of a 7-day forecast, 77 today, and then we're cooling down at night, 50 by tomorrow morning, and then we're in the low to mid 70s. Lots of sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday, but I think that heat's going to be kicking on for a lot of us with 40s at night. By Thursday, a high of only 60 66 by Friday morning. We're down to 44. Friday, mostly sunny, 69. And then it does warm up a little bit for the weekend into the mid to upper 70s. We keep it dry before it cools down again sharply as we head into early next week.
Thank you, Bob. Sign of the season. Homes near the beach empty as summertime vacationers have left. Here you see a Dewey Beach public safety camera sign which police use to patrol the town.
And if you sign up for their Winter Watch program, they will check on your home in cases of storm damage and suspicious activity. As Zakiya Jennings shows us, the program is much more accessible than you might think.
Driving down Coastal Highway in Dewey Beach. As the warm weather comes to an end and many leave their summer homes behind until next year, the Dewey Beach Winter Watch program will be in full effect. The program was created with those who live here part-time in mind. However, the program is used by everyone in the town, including Phil Winkler, who has lived in Dewey Beach full-time for 10 years.
Anytime we're out of town for a couple days, we'll let the police department know and they'll keep a watch on it.
The department works alongside town hall staff to maintain contact information for each property in case of water damage, storm damage, or suspicious activity. Madeline Gangloff vacations in Dewey Beach during the summer and says her loved ones and neighbors can benefit from the program.
I know they rent out their home through Airbnb and have people staying there, but there's months where it's vacant, and so that would be a great opportunity for them to use that.
It's called the Winter Watch program because it was initially created in response to broken pipes and vacant homes during the winter. However, the program is year-round and available to all. The police department encourages those who do not live here full-time to make sure they stay in touch with the town and to keep their contact information up to date. And to find out how to register your home for this program, visit CoastTV.com. In Dewey Beach, I'm Zakiya Jennings, Coast TV News.
Up next on Coast TV News today, Coast Day supports science. We'll tell you how the annual event to showcase Delmarva's environment has grown substantially in recent years. Don't go anywhere.
Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Get ready, Delmarva. Excitement and incredible savings have arrived at Gateway Subaru. Save up to $3,200 on a new 2025 Subaru Outback with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. Or save up to $2,300 off a new 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. And be among the first to drive the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Stop in and reserve yours today. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Wow, it's so much bigger than you realize. East Coast Tile and Flooring has the largest selection of tile from around the world. And they are the only Dow Tile Premier showroom on the shore. They have the knowledge and expertise to assist architects, designers, and homeowners, and are fully licensed to take on any job from start to finish. Family owned and operated since 1947. Call East Coast Tile and Flooring today for a design consultation.
No strangers here, just friends you haven't met yet. With comfortable outdoor seating and an authentic Irish bar, Irish Eyes in Milton is a local favorite by the Broadkill River. Irish Eyes in Lewis with ample free parking, a gorgeous waterfront patio, extensive menu favorites, and the best happy hour on the water. Book our Lewis room for all of life's celebrations. With a lovely panoramic view, in-house chef, and a professional team to make your next event one to remember. Find out more at irisheyespub.com.
Join us for the American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer in Ocean City on Saturday, October 26th. The walk starts at 8 a.m. on the boardwalk at the inlet. Sign up to walk or lead a team to celebrate courage and hope for breast cancer survivors, those living with metastatic breast cancer, caregivers, and families. Be the hope to help end breast cancer for everyone. For more details, visit coastcountry.com. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers.
It's an annual event that celebrates life near the ocean. Coast Day brings thousands of visitors to Lewis.
As Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us, University of Delaware students and staff present their projects involving science, sea life, and so much more.
Robot dogs, shark heads, and sea life. Those are just some of the things you might have missed at this year's Coast Day, an event where students and staff showcase important environmental research. something local Nicholas Butler says is an important day along the coast.
But this helps give people a peek into a window of the actual work that they're doing and make sure that our world and our coasts, remain a better place.
People who came to Sunday's event got to experience a little bit of everything, from having tours on boats, listening to lectures about sea life, and how sonar technology and artificial intelligence are saving crabs from leftover crab pots below the sea. Cameron Bodine says this technology was much needed.
We estimate in Delaware waters alone that there's approximately 20 or 30,000 pots, if not more.
With the event starting in 1977, the event has grown in popularity, with today having 5,000 to 10,000 people at the event. Children learned a lot through the hands-on exhibits, such as petting a robot dog, painting with fish, and getting to see sea life. I'm Kevin Zapay in Lewis, Coast TV News.
And we're joined again by First Alert meteorologist Bob Tri. Not a bad day for an October day along the coast.
October's you're good. I was going to say October's my favorite month, so I'm happy. But you go, Bob.
There I go again, cutting you off. This is the time of year where, locals like to participate in the off season and head to the beaches. A little less crowded. It's going to be nice. We'll see some clouds this morning, and then afternoon sun, Assateague and Chincoteague, you're into the mid-70s, and we'll feel cooler with that northwest breeze. And boaters, there is a small craft advisory. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, you're into the 70s. I think we're seeing more sun into the afternoon. On the bay side, the next 3 days, cooling down 77 today in Cambridge, and then your lower 70s Tuesday and Wednesday, lots of sunshine. And Crisfield 74 today, but highs only into the upper 60s Tuesday and Wednesday as it does cool off. And it will be a cool and dry week ahead. Much more on that and the latest on dangerous Hurricane Milton, which, by the way, will stay to our south. I'll have more on that coming up in the next half hour.
After the break on Coast TV News today, thousands in Israel are gathering to commemorate the anniversary of the October 7th attacks. We'll tell you how officials say the current war is sparking concerns of far-reaching violence.
Also, potential wastewater partnership in Rehoboth Beach, why the offer from Sussex County could be enticing to the city.
In Florida, locals are in a rush to secure buildings and clear debris ahead of Hurricane Milton's landfall. We'll tell you what officials say about how massive the evacuation could be in that state. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Fall into planning at Bella Terra Garden Center. Autumn is the perfect time of year for planting. Come check out our locally sourced collection of trees and shrubs of all shapes and sizes. Did you know that Bella Terra is open 7 days a week? Join our garden club for big savings and first access to all sale promotions. Stocked with the smallest succulents to the tallest of trees, Bella Terra Garden Center is here for all your gardening needs. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Located right off Route 16 in Ellendale.
Middays with April Brilliant. It's a feel-good show on your radio.
April is the easiest way to get through my workday.
She plays my favorite songs.
She helped me find my furry friend.
She's always making me smile.
Listening to April is the best way to get through my workday.
She makes me feel special.
Middays with April, weekdays from 10 to 3 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Critter Getters.
As temperatures drop, FH Fur invites you to be part of something truly heartwarming, our Fall into Comfort Toy Drive. Through December 15th for only $29, the experts at FH Fur will perform a comprehensive heating system inspection, ensuring your home stays snug through the chilly months ahead. The best part? 100% of the proceeds will go to the United States Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots. Schedule your heating inspection today with FH Fur.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
Draper Media, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to provide broad outreach regarding job vacancies at the station. We seek the help of local organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should email humanresources@wboc.com.
Wheel is celebrating sisterhood all week.
All girls except for you. How does that feel?
I fit in, no?
Sure.
Monday at 7 on Coast TV.
Now on Coast TV News.
We're seeing clouds this morning as a cold front is making its way towards Delmarva, and that will bring breezy and cooler weather, but also keep Hurricane Milton well to our south. We'll have the latest on the storm in our forecast coming up next.
Speaking of that storm, Bob, they're bracing for another big one. While things are calm here, southern states preparing for another destructive system heading their way.
Bonds for building improvements. That is the plan for the Ocean City Convention Center as the council there is ready to take the next step to pay for several projects.
Treatment plant talk. We have the money being offered to Rehoboth Beach to take on additional wastewater for its ocean outfall pipe.
This is CoastTV News Today.
October 7th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Elisa Weber. Thanks for joining us.
Time is 6:30, and we are here. You are there with us. Thank you for watching on this start to the work week for many.
Yeah, I actually had an easy time waking up this morning, which I feel like always sets the tone for a good week. That's how I always feel Monday, the way you wake up. I don't know. That's how I like to think about it.
Okay, well, that's very positive.
Didn't need too much coffee, which is always a good thing, but...
See, I always need coffee, Elisa.
I know. I try not to drink too much. We're going to bring in first alert meteorologist Bob Trahey. Bob, did you drink your coffee this morning?
Did you drink your coffee?
Oh, come on. Is the sky blue? Good morning, Elisa and Matt. Good morning, Delmarva. Yes, I don't know how I could get up at 2 in the morning and not have caffeine or have my coffee. But yeah, no, it's a morning where we're looking at clouds out there across Delmarva. Mostly cloudy skies. Nothing in the way of rain, just some clouds. Bark is worse than the bite as we are looking at. We had a few sprinkles earlier back near Baltimore and Annapolis, but those have since dried up. Here comes our cold front making its way through probably the I-95 corridor now. And that will usher in cooler air with time, and it will be a breezy day. Out ahead of that front, 67 Rehoboth, 68 Bethany Beach, lower 60s inland, and we have a breeze too from the south. So make sure you have that heavier windbreaker as it is breezy. We have some clouds, maybe a sprinkle the next hour or so. Otherwise, we'll see sun and clouds this morning by noon. We're in the 70s, and then by the afternoon around 77, Selbyville and Salisbury, Milton 76. A little cooler at the beaches and feeling a lot cooler with that northwest breeze. Today's checklist, don't need the rain gear, even though we might see a sprinkle. Otherwise, have the summer clothes handy. Yeah, you can still wear those. We're on the coast. Warm beverage for sure this morning. Maybe a cup of coffee for you too. And make sure you have your sunscreen and sunglasses handy too.
Bob, Florida is starting what could be its largest evacuation effort since 2017. That's according to officials who are urging some residents to flee ahead of Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, they say the ground is already saturated from Hurricane Helene a couple weeks ago. And now, as Amy Kiley shows us, more than 15 million people are under flood watches bracing for Hurricane Milton.
I have the State Emergency Response Team preparing for the largest evacuation that we have seen, most likely since 2017 Hurricane Irma.
Floridians are bracing for the second major hurricane in less than 2 weeks. Forecasters predict Milton will make landfall Wednesday and then plow across most of the state. Officials are issuing both mandatory and voluntary evacuation orders for at-risk areas.
I urge Floridians to finalize your storm preparations now, enact your plan. I highly encourage you to evacuate.
The National Hurricane Center warns flooding could threaten millions of residents. Some are preparing with sandbags.
We got kind of damaged Hurricane Ian, so just make sure that we get a little bit more precautious, making sure all the sandbags are at our doorstep garage.
I think we're just going to put sandbags in our back porch. We're going to get like groceries later and stuff in case it's really bad.
Milton's timing could be dangerous. In some areas, the ground is already saturated from Hurricane Helene, and cleanup from that storm continues.
One of the things that we did was make sure that all disaster debris management sites that were impacted by Hurricane Helene, that they remain open 24/7 for drop-off.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Happening today, the latest in a potential partnership between Sussex County, Lewis, and Rehoboth Beach.
And it ultimately would result in treated wastewater discharged from the Rehoboth Beach ocean outfall.
The county is proposing a one-time $20 million payment to Rehoboth Beach.
And the request is coming from the Lewis Board of Public Works and Sussex County to connect a new treatment plant at the Wolf Neck facility in Rehoboth Beach to that outfall pipe.
Yes, $20 million Could be tempting for a city that in July claimed it was dealing with a shortfall of over $4 million when working on its latest budget.
And city officials have cited another benefit would be environmental, and they claim that the new connection would help remove wastewater out of the canal. And this will be reviewed at a workshop held by Mayor Stan Mills and the city commissioners. And no action is expected to occur today. And Milton is also talking treatment plant. It is for a facility on Federal Street, and this is in addition to a new water tower that is expected to be built in the town. And the bid could be a possible vote at tonight's town council meeting from Pannoni Associates. They are pitching a plan that would cost over $2 million.
Happening today, plans to improve the Ocean City Convention Center could be finalized. Council there is scheduled to have its second reading of an ordinance that would allow the town to borrow $3 million to pay for a new generator and replace the roof.
And a controversial mega development in Lewis could take a huge step forward this week. The North Star subdivision would bring 758 single-family homes on Route 9 and Beaver Dam Road. It's been the subject of past hearings and concerns. And this Wednesday, North Star's 4 applications are on the Planning and Zoning Commission's agenda, and that starts at 3 p.m.
Checking out the scene this morning in Del Mar. It'll be high above Route 13. Let's check that out. A little bit of traffic there on this Monday morning. And today in that town, the municipal election takes place. It's where town council seats are up for grabs. One challenger is attempting to take a seat from the 2 incumbents seeking re-election. The incumbents are Odell Jones Jr. and Todd Lanier. Both are running for the 4-year term that comes with winning the election. And as we said, one will definitely be reelected. Challenger Brian Morris hoping to earn his spot on the town council for one of the other seats. And people in Del Mar can vote at the public library. It begins at 7 a.m. It ends 12 hours later at 7 p.m.
Happening now today marks the 1-year anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel. You can see on your screen thousands of Israelis gathered at the Nova Music Festival location to commemorate the tragic day that claimed thousands of lives. The attack triggered a war which has sparked worldwide protests and has risked igniting a far wider conflict in the Middle East.
Got more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, a new law in Delaware is changing the rules on volunteer firefighters with criminal history. We'll tell you what the law requires and what the bill's sponsors say still needs to be worked out.
Also, in the nick of time, Phillies cleanup hitter delivers in the clutch in Game 2 of the National League Divisional Series. The Sunday Dramatics in South Philly.
And after DART says ridership has been declining for one of its routes, the agency is making a big change. We'll tell you the details of a new schedule and how it could impact you. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
There are many details that shouldn't be overlooked when buying or selling your coins. Mint mark, date, and condition are all factors in determining a coin's value. Don't get ripped off. Find someone reputable who can answer your questions and pay you top dollar on the spot. Look to see if they broadcast current values live and if they use Graysheet for determining your coin's value.
To learn more about Robinson's family of businesses, the coin and jewelry experts, visit Delmarva Experts on WBOC.com.
As a comptroller of the state of Maryland, I view part of my job as identifying opportunities for people in every community across our state. And that's why I'm excited about Maryland Saves, a free and easy retirement savings option employers can offer their employees and make saving easier for Marylanders. Find out if your business qualifies for a $300 incentive and learn more about Maryland Saves at marylandsaves.com. Thanks and see you soon.
Welcome to Kelly's Outdoors, your local outdoor superstore in Millsboro. We carry everything you need this hunting season, from waterfowling gear to deer hunting essentials, bows, tree stands, ammo, and apparel from brands like Drake and Nomad. We also have a wide selection of saltwater and freshwater fishing gear and crabbing supplies for your next day on the water. Kelly's Outdoors now has a wide supply of guns, pistols, and rifles from Rattay, Browning, Winchester, Savage, Beretta, Sig, Springfield, and Smith & Wesson. Before your next outdoor adventure, visit Kelly's Outdoors in Millsboro today.
No strangers here, just friends you haven't met yet. With comfortable outdoor seating and an authentic Irish bar, Irish Eyes in Milton is a local favorite by the Broadkill River. Irish Eyes in Lewis with ample free parking, a gorgeous waterfront patio, extensive menu favorites, and the best happy hour on the water. Book our Lewis room for all of life's celebrations. With a lovely panoramic view, in-house chef, and a professional team to make your next event one to remember. Find out more at irisheyespub.com.
Just
Just about 6:39 on our mostly cloudy Monday. Seeing some clouds, but also blue skies as sun's coming up around 7. 63 in Laurel right now. So we have a broken overcast over the top of us. It's possible we could see a sprinkle as we go through the next hour or so as a cold front is now making its way along the I-95 corridor, and that will be swinging through today and keeping us breezy and cool. 62 in Georgetown right now, 61 in Del Mar, but upper 60s at Bethany Beach. Rehoboth right now at 67 degrees. And out ahead of that front, there is a bit of a southerly breeze. So that could play havoc with your golf ball today as that wind shifts to the northwest. And I put it in the good category. Didn't want to have an excellent putt. I don't want to show anybody up. Morning clouds, breezy conditions, afternoon sunshine, and around 77 degrees.
Bob, and if DART is a part of your daily routine here in Delaware, you'll want to listen up. A big change is coming to Rehoboth Beach and Millsboro. DART has decided the Route 215 service, that's Rehoboth to Millsboro, will be stopped after 9:30 p.m. due to low ridership. Also, the on-site route to Georgetown Professional Park on Route 212 will be ending for the same reason. Changes go into effect on November 17th. And happening today, if you drive Miller's Neck Road, make a note of this. Today until February 4th, Miller's Neck Road between Old Mill Bridge Road and Dirksen Creek will close. And you can see that location right here on your screen. And the closure is to realign the Frankford roadway. And detours will be in place for drivers in the area.
A weak effort against the Mets pitching in Game 1 of the National League Divisional Series. It put the Phillies in a 1-0 hole heading into Sunday. While the Phillies may have finished 8 games ahead of the Mets in the standings, Saturday's loss meant the overall series this season between the two rivals was tied at 7 apiece. Phillies were looking to stop the Mets' big momentum in Game 2 at the Park. Actually, at one point in this one, they trailed 3-0. Here in the 8th, Bryson Stott pulls it to right. Bryce Harper scores. Nick Castellanos scores. All good in Philly with a 5-4 lead. All good, right? Well, if you think that, you have not been paying attention to the Mets this season. Phillies up 6-4 in the 9th, 1 out. Look at Mark Vientos taking the high heat from Matt Strom for a ride, 2-run shot. We're tied at 6. This, however, delayed the inevitable. The hero last night for the Phillies, Castellanos, delivers in the 9th. Big hit for Nick. Trey Turner scores the winning run. Phillies take Game 2, 7-6. The series is tied 1 game apiece, and Game 3 in New York is tomorrow night. NFL action in Cincinnati. Ravens and Bengals, they were working overtime when Derrick Henry off tackle. He is off to the races, cuts back to the middle of the field, eventually brought down at the 5. It's 51 of Henry's 92 yards on the day on that one play, and it sets up Justin Tucker with a 24-yard field goal. A Ravens winner, 41-38, 3 in a row for Baltimore. Ravens are back at home next Sunday with Washington. And speaking of the burgundy and gold, how about Jay Daniels? Continues to add to his legend just before halftime, hitting De'Ami Brown for the touchdown. Daniels, 238 yards passing, 82 rushing, and he rested in the fourth quarter. Washington, a big win over the Browns, 34-13, 4 in a row for NFC East leading Washington. Coming up today on the Delmarva Sports Network, your game of the night, 6 p.m., Salisbury University taking on Baltimore Kings. And men's soccer at 8 p.m., you can watch University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and Howard University. That's in women's volleyball. 10 post time, 10:30. Tune in for the final score. On DSM Plus, you can also watch that Salisbury University men's soccer match. And then here are your DSM Plus exclusive. 5:30, Delaware High School girls volleyball, Woodbridge and First State Military Academy. 6 o'clock, Bayside Conference boys soccer between North Dorchester and Washington.
Thank you, Matt. And the holiday season will be here before we know it, and that means the return of Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign. Through generous donations, we do our best to make sure every child has a present to open on Christmas morning. We do that by supporting charities that handpick families in need, and we are accepting funding applications from those nonprofits through October 18th.
And a bit of a breezy morning across the coast right now, and then those breezes will pick up throughout the day. Get a little stronger with the cold front moving through this afternoon. So it's a breezy and cool start to the week, and the rest of the week is quiet as we see dangerous Hurricane Milton staying to our south. The latest on that and the rest of your work week forecast coming up in 2 minutes.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC. 15 years ago, we founded Community Bank Delaware with the goal of providing high-quality banking services to our local community. Here you meet with decision makers, people just like you who live in and love this community. We provide the newest banking technologies to our customers, supported by our local team of banking professionals. Our bank serves clients throughout Sussex County, and we continue to grow, all thanks to you. Community Bank Delaware, where community matters.
Has your kitchen remodel been on the back burner?
Move it forward now and take advantage of our biggest kitchen sale of the year.
Paul Davis can restyle your kitchen for half the cost of a traditional kitchen remodel. Get all new doors, drawers, and hardware without any major demolition. And the best part is, it's done in as little as 3 days.
We'll bring the showroom to you as soon as tomorrow and give you an estimate that day.
Call now to get $1,500 off, plus free hardware and no payments, no interest for 12 months. Call Paul Davis.
The restoration and remodeling experts.
On October 16th, Delaware Celebration of Jazz proudly presents Cancer Survivor Night. 100% of the profits from this special evening of music and dance will benefit BB Healthcare's Tunnel Cancer Center in Rehoboth. Entertainment will be provided by the Yacht Lobsters. Their breezy, cool vibe is sure to keep things bouncy and set your mood to festive. Come celebrate the Jazz Festival's 35th anniversary. Get your tickets online today at rehobothjazz.com.
877-CALL-FUR, FHFur.com.
Foul odors, discolored water. Are you running out of hot water more quickly? These are all signs of sediment buildup in your water heater. And as the buildup becomes more severe, it can even cause a premature tank failure. Flushing the tank periodically can prevent these problems. FH Fur has you covered. Get a water heater flush for $49. That's right, a complete water heater flush for only $49. Act now and get a plumbing inspection free.
877-CALL-FUR, FHFur.com.
The time is now 6:46 and we are taking a live look outside into Lewis. Bob, the sun's not up yet. You see a couple of boats on the water there, but we were talking about it's much cooler out. I have my sweater on. My favorite season, sweaters, boots, fall. It's just my favorite, Bob. What about you?
Oh, I love it. I love it, Elisa. You know, flannel, football, the leaves are falling, it's cooling off. I love all of that. And we're looking at much cooler weather to come as we go through the next several days. In fact, the next couple of weeks, we don't have any 80s coming our way. In fact, today's the warmest day at 77. Cold front comes through, only low 70s tomorrow, 73 Wednesday, and some of those 60s starting to show up for highs, only 66 on Thursday and Friday, 69 degrees, and very dry air. You know, really, the last several weeks we've been up in this muggy to humid range. Not anymore. Look at this line, flat line right at the bottom of the comfy range. That is very, very dry air and cooler air that builds in during the course of the week. Out the door right now, a little humidity ahead of a cold front, 62 in Georgetown, Millsboro 64, upper 60s at the coast right now, and a bit of a south breeze, and that's ahead of the front. Once a cold front comes through, we'll shift to the northwest. We do have clouds. It's a broken overcast now over Delmarva, as we do have that cold front making its way pretty close to the I-95 corridor right now. There's the front, and that will continue to push in, and once it does, we'll see those winds shifting to the northwest behind it, and we'll see much drier air as a huge area of high pressure is building in from Canada into the plains. You see this white color, that's indicating that cool air mass, and that high will drift to the southeast and settle over the top of us towards the end of the week, protecting us from Hurricane Milton. More on that coming up, but this morning, 60s to eventually low 70s. We're seeing some of those clouds maybe still hanging on around the noon hour. Otherwise, mid-70s inland later on, low 70s at the coast. And then this evening with that drier air building in, it's going to cool off. In fact, upper 40s, Seaford back through Delmar and Georgetown. A little milder at the coast Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday, a lot of us stay in the 60s, even barely getting up to 70 in Long Neck into the afternoon. And then we're looking at more cool air into Wednesday morning. Here's Hurricane Milton starting to develop an eye now in the southwest part of the Gulf of Mexico. 100-mile-per-hour winds. It is now a Category 2 hurricane, becoming a major hurricane, we think, pretty soon, or at least later today, and then it could become a Category 4. Look at this. It could have sustained winds of 145 95 miles per hour Tuesday and Wednesday, with gusts maybe 180. But it looks like it could weaken a little bit as it approaches the Florida coast and into Tampa. But it could be a real mess for them as that makes landfall. And then it becomes more like post-tropical as it moves into the southwest Atlantic and staying to our south, because we'll have high pressure just to our west, keeping the hurricane to our south. Maybe some wave action by the weekend, but we're looking at mainly quiet conditions with sunshine. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast. 77 today. That's the warmest day of the week. And then 71 Tuesday with sunshine, dipping into the 40s at night. I can hear the heat clicking on already. 48 by Wednesday morning, 73 Wednesday, 48 Thursday morning. A high of only 66 on Thursday. And then perhaps the coldest morning of the week is Friday morning at 44. Back to 69 on Friday. And then for the weekend, it does warm up, looking really nice. Another nice fall weekend with mid to upper 70s, mostly sunny Saturday and partly cloudy on Sunday.
Get your 44 degrees there, Bob, but bite your tongue on turning on the heat. Quite, yeah. All right, moving on. As progress on Rehoboth Beach's Beach Patrol building continues, the multi-million-dollar project will also be set in time. Get this. This Friday, the city will add a time capsule in the structure. It's on Baltimore Avenue and Boardwalk, and that will be at 11:30 a.m.
And a new law in Delaware is strengthening background checks for volunteer firefighters, and that's according to bill sponsor Danny Short. And the revised law requires the State Bureau of Identification to notify the State Fire Prevention Commission when a current firefighter commits a criminal offense. Short says the law also requires that any current or prospective volunteer found with a serious offense would be kicked out of the fire company. Short says lawmakers will work to determine how background checks will be funded and how much discretion each fire company will have in allowing a volunteer with a known criminal history to join their ranks.
Delaware lawmakers say they are moving forward on bringing a medical school to Sussex County. According to a release from Long Neck Representative Jeff Havlosky, Delaware is only one of 4 states without a medical school, and a new resolution would form a steering group to plan and eventually build a medical school in the county. This comes after the Sussex Economic Development Action Committee commissioned a study, and they found that an osteopathic medical program in Sussex was both necessary and feasible.
And the time is now 6:51, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a rescue enjoying life in Georgetown. That is Carter right there on your screen. Carter loves playing with his family and getting to relax on that couch right there in this picture. And Carter was submitted to us by Kimberly in Georgetown.
I love his name, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, so send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
And that is where the QR code is. Scan that to submit your furry friend to us here at Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Ocean views waking up to clouds this morning, maybe a sprinkle as a cold front is making its way through, but it's breezy this morning and really breezy this afternoon and cooler over the next several days as Hurricane Milton stays well to our south thanks to high pressure building, and that high keeps us dry and quiet the next several days. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
When choosing a granite countertop, choose one for real life and beauty. No matter what life throws at them, they'll look beautiful forever. Ancient Art Stone invites you to discover the affordability of granite and upgrade your home to the beautiful works of art from Ancient Art Stone. Centrally located in Milford, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva to make your dreams a reality. Visit us and allow our devoted professionals to craft, fabricate, and install a superior finished product that will transform your home into a work of art.
For a great shopping experience, Furniture Gallery is the place to pick up one-of-a-kind signature finds to complete your home decor. Come explore our selection of handcrafted furniture and get all the supplies you need for your own DIY projects. And through the doors is Shore Marketplace, where you'll find the most unique local shops at the beach. With over 40 local artisans, Shore Marketplace is truly a local connection you cannot afford to miss. And next door you'll find Scrub Apparel outlets. All this under one roof with easy access off Coastal Highway North.
In 1925, a simple bank ledger began journaling the transactions of life in Willards, Maryland. New houses, barns, and farm equipment. Growing families and businesses both big and small. A record through time of hardship and prosperity. 100 years ago, the founding of the Farmers Bank of Willards was vital to the town. 100 years later, banking has changed, but the Farmers Bank remains steadfast in its original mission, keeping and reinvesting millions of dollars right here for for the benefit of our communities.
Oh, porches. Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would
So they're
say-
made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would
And
go-
they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think
And
so.
they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out?
And
And the
so-
custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. It's time to huddle up and talk football.
We're talking touchdowns, tackles, and everything in between. From game-changing plays to the latest news around the league.
We'll take a deep dive into all of the plays that made a difference.
We'll see you in the end zone.
Catch the End Zone, Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. Sponsored by Tyndall's Casual Furniture.
The time is now 6:54, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Tropical Storm Milton is now a Category 2 hurricane turning in the Gulf of Mexico, taking aim at Florida. You can see on your screen right now some of the damage from Hurricane Helene that took place a little over a week ago. According to officials, Hurricane Milton could potentially make landfall on Wednesday, and officials in Florida say their biggest concern is getting debris off the roads in neighborhoods where Helene took a toll.
Happening today, plans to improve the Ocean City Convention Center could be finalized. The council there is set to have its second reading of an ordinance. It would allow the town to borrow $3 million to fund a new generator and replace the roof. Again, that's set to take place tonight at 6.
And a controversial mega development in Lewis could take a huge step forward this week. The North Star subdivision would bring 758 single-family homes on Route 9 and Beaver Dam Road. It's been the subject of past hearings and concerns. And this Wednesday, North Star's 4 applications are on the Planning and Zoning Commission's agenda, and that starts at 3 p.m. And a special event zone is back in place in Ocean City starting on Tuesday. The city says the special event zone runs Tuesday through Sunday, and that's due to the Endless Summer Cruising event. Speed limits are lowered and there are increased fines. And the Hindu Festival of Lights, known as Diwali, begins just weeks from now. And Mattel has released a new Barbie to mark the occasion.
And the newest limited edition Barbie doll is dressed by Indian fashion designer Anita Dangri.
And her midnight blue outfit is designed to reflect the radiant lights of the festival, and it's adorned with dollies, jasmine, and Indian lotus, all symbols of strength and beauty.
And the designer describes the outfit as a more contemporary version of Indian fashion.
And the time is now 6:56, and we're going to take a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, one final check on this Monday morning. Pretty decent start for this week for October, Bob.
Yeah, not too bad. If you like the fall chill, you're going to love this week, Lisa and Matt. And we're looking at a cold front this morning that is bringing some clouds in, maybe a sprinkle. Otherwise, we're looking at winds southwest becoming west, then eventually northwest, a mix of sun and clouds through noon, and then more sunshine this afternoon and breezy with temperatures into the upper 70s. Could see winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour at times. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, much cooler than it has been. Lower 70s Tuesday, 73 Wednesday with sunshine. Overnight lows dipping into the 40s beginning Wednesday morning. 66 the high Thursday, 44 to begin the day Friday. That's going to be our coldest start yet. And then into the upper 60s on Friday. For the weekend, looking dry. And then another cold front cools us back into the 60s next week as the fall chill is taking hold across our region.
Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
And then we'll be back with Coast TV News midday at 11, so stick with us.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Monday morning, everybody.